For policy. And we both decided when we were talking about this that we really wanted to do it together. It would have been the first time that two women were basically in the line of succession for the government as like the two people who would run it, God forbid something happened, to the chief of staff. And so we were and I just don't think that this would have, we literally sat down. I said, Nancy Ann, here's what I think my job is. Here's what I think your job is. Does that make sense to you? And she said, yes, it makes sense to me. And I said, well, there are some gray areas where I might be, you know, like where both of us could be in charge. And she said, well, we'll just talk about it when the time comes. And God is my witness, that is what we did for 2 years. The two of us, no territory, we were not territorial, no fighting. We were the greatest team that ever was. And it made those first years of learning what my new job was really incredible. And I think that the word is I just kind of felt safe. Like I knew Nancy Ann had my back, I had her back. And so she handled all policy matters. We split some foreign policy issues. So she did some of the like more policy weighted stuff. I oversaw all the president's foreign trips. The White House military office, which sounds like, oh, what does the military office do? Well, they run Camp David. They oversee the operations of Air Force One, Marine One, and all the acquisition programs that are sort of related to those, so kind of a big deal. Presidential appointments, scheduling in advance. Oval Office operations, so the team that works outside of the Oval Office, they reported to me. And I know I'm forgetting something, but that's like the gist sort of what it was. And what some people loved that I had like tons of decision-making power and basically that they just saw me as like a powerful person, because in DC people like really care about me, kind of, and a lot of, but.
So Alyssa, you didn't just wake up or graduate from high school in Rhinebeck, New York, graduating of 72, and say, when I grow up, I'm gonna work at the White House.
No.
So walk us through what that was like, making a college change, the moment between Iowa and Chicago, and those decision-making points.
Okay. So, no, I did think that politics was really interesting growing up. I mean, in '92, when Bill Clinton became president, I was in 10th grade and tried to find like every way possible to get down to DC and see him be sworn in, and my parents kind of like gave me enough rope to hang myself. They're like, good luck, Alyssa, try to figure out a plan. But all the hotel rooms were gone, so I couldn't go. But I was always very into language. When you grow up in a town, I think that Rhinebeck may really technically only have like 3,000 residents, and my school had 70 people, and so we didn't have as many options as some people at larger schools would have. And so I took French, and I loved it, and my father would quiz me every morning. Like, you'd eat breakfast, and he'd say, what's on the table? And one of the funny things is my younger sister was coming down the stairs. She was pretty young, and my dad pointed at a grapefruit, and he said, what's that? And I said, pamplemousse. And my sister did not understand what was happening, and she said, I'm not a plump little moose. And so, but the best part is that when she went to college, like 15 years later, when you fill out the form and it says, what's your name and what do you prefer to be called, she is still Alyssa Mastromonaco. I mean, to this day because of that. But I loved language. I said, this is what I'm going to do. And in Rhinebeck, and the way that my parents were, it was kind of like figure out your own journey. Like whatever you want to do, if you're going to be successful and happy, then so be it. And so I went through. My parents said, well, where are you going to go to college? And I was explaining earlier to a smaller group that in 1993, there was no internet, there was no downloading applications. I had to fill out the postcard and send it to the school and hope that they sent me the thing back and keep track of all of this in a very complicated spreadsheet that I made up. But when the time came and they said, okay, well, here's where you got in, and something that I always enjoy telling folks at events like this is that I got rejected by every Ivy League school, and when I left the White House, they were among some of the first to call and ask if I would like to speak. I said, thank you, but no. In '94, you rejected me, and now it's not. So,